You know, I know it's hurricane season, so we're so focused on Irma, the next monster coming down the pike. But Harvey, you know, is gone, but it's not forgotten. In fact, the cleanup tab continues to escalate. The Salvation Army National Community Relations Lieutenant Colonel Ron Busroe with us right now. Colonel, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
What is your sense about this? I'm told that floodwaters, some of them might not be receding for the better part of weeks, taking us into October. That's a whole nother level of destruction we still can't fathom, huh?
Well, we knew when this storm hit last week that we knew this was going to be one of the longest recovery efforts that the Salvation Army has ever been involved in. And I noticed this morning's report. Yesterday we served over 56,000 meals. We're deployed all the way from Corpus Christi to Beaumont, and over 80 mobile kitchens. They're out there serving people, and as people get back into their homes, they need somebody to come by with some water and a hot meal, and that's what the Salvation Army is doing right now.
Do your funding donations go up just to keep track of all the money you're spending to make all of this stuff happen, or do you worry about it later and hope that does happen?
Well, we're always very conscious of the fact that we're spending several $1 million a week just to respond to this disaster, to Harvey. And the money's been coming in very well, but we noticed yesterday as news of Irma came along, the online donations dropped significantly. And so that's a matter of concern. When the disaster is no longer the lead story, then people don't open up their pocketbooks. And there's still tremendous needs, not just in Texas, but there are going to be tremendous needs in Florida starting next week.
Yeah, I was thinking ahead of your coming, Colonel, and I appreciate you taking the time, that we might not be prepared for what is going to be a record-breaker season for hurricanes, just in the sheer number. Of course, there's this Hurricane Jose apparently behind Irma, another one forming that will be duly named and announced soon, I guess. That the busyness will obviously keep you busy, right?
Well, our teams are certainly preparing. One of the interesting things is that some of our best trained disaster workers, of course, are in Florida. They were deployed to Texas. Today, wow, we've had to redeploy them back home to make sure that Florida is ready, that the Salvation Army in Florida is ready to respond what could be a disaster even larger than Harvey, and Harvey is the largest one we've ever responded to.
Yeah, a lot of them oftentimes depend on how long they hang around, right? Harvey hung around for a long time.
Well, that was Harvey. That was the situation with Harvey. It just stayed and dumped 50 inches of rain. But when you're looking at 150, 175 mile-an-hour winds that are going up either the East Coast or the West Coast or straight up the middle of Florida, you're talking about millions of people who are going to be impacted. The estimates we're getting now is that there's a possibility of over 300,000 people in shelters in the state of Florida over the next week.